Welcome back to Andersen Acres. We're out here with the Great Pyrenees again, and Whiskey is here. He's just over here eating snow. But today we are going to continue from where we left off with the last dog video last week, and we are going to talk about a few more of my tips for raising and training your livestock guardians. These tips have more to do with you than them, okay? This is not all about them. This is about how you approach training and your expectations. So we did 5 tips last week. We're going to do 5 this week. So that means we are on tip number 6. And tip number 6 is simply go slow. Okay? You want to take it slow because livestock guardian dogs are smart, independent, and they get bored really easily. So you want to be ready to just stop. That was a body slam. But you would like to be ready to just stop a training session if it's not going well. It is better to just stop and come back tomorrow than try to do stuff that's just not working out. So sometimes you just want to stop your training session and carry on later in the day or tomorrow or whatever. Whatever it is, you really... They like to play. Yeah, you do just want to be ready to stop your training session and continue on tomorrow. It's just better for you and for them. The 7th tip is to practice everywhere. It's one thing to practice in your living room, their skills, and it's something else to practice out in the field where there's all kinds of fun smells and all kinds of predators and all kinds of goo and, you know, all kinds of things to distract them. Okay, that was, you know, a thing. But you do want to practice absolutely everywhere that you can practice. Okay, you don't want to only practice in your living room or only practice right outside your front door. You want to make sure you are practicing frequently and in different spots. You want their skills to be as good in your living room as they are. She's letting critters know out there that she doesn't want them out there. But you definitely want to make sure that their skills are as good in your living room as they are in the field. So practice everywhere. Just because your dog can do it standing in the living room doesn't mean he's got any skill in the field with the goats. Number 8 is use the right tools. Not all tools are effective with livestock guardians. Some tools are not going to get you anywhere because they're dependent upon you actually being there. So things like shock collars and prong collars don't necessarily help a lot because a livestock guardian has to function without you. And since they have to function without you, you can't use a tool that requires you to be there all the time. You don't want to use a harness because harnesses are designed for pulling, and you do not want to teach your livestock guardians that pulling is a good idea. So harnesses are kind of a no-go. You don't want those halty things because controlling their faces is not really going to help that much. You might use one at the very beginning if you're worried your livestock guardian might eat a chicken. They shouldn't, but if you're concerned. But long term, they're not going to help you. So instead, use a flat collar with nothing dangling. Remember, things that dangle can get tangled, and that could really hang your dog up somewhere, literally. So nothing dangling, nice flat collar, standard leash, not a flexi lead. Make sure you have the right tools. And none of those tools have to be fancy. Okay, you don't want anything fancy. The more basic and more common the tool, the better, because these kind of dogs kind of need that. My 9th is be prepared for setbacks. My 9th tip is setbacks happen, be prepared. Setbacks are going to happen, especially when they're puppies. Puppies, just like human kids, have phases. So everything will be going really, really, really well, and then all of a sudden they hit their adolescent phase and it all comes undone. Get ready for those setbacks to happen because it does happen. Okay, it's not uncommon. So setbacks happen, especially in the puppy phase, and larger breeds have a longer puppy phase. Okay, So these guys are not even 2 yet. They're still technically in their puppy dog phase. So you got to wait for them to grow up. Okay, setbacks will happen, especially when they're young. It's normal. Be prepared for it. My final tip is to understand the breed you're getting. So not all livestock guardian breeds are the same. We have Great Pyrenees because they're a well-rounded dog that is pretty social with people, because we have people here a lot. So you want to make sure that you get the dog that's suited for the tasks you want it to do. The downside of the Great Pyrenees is they're roamers and they're barkers. That's not a problem for us. It might be a problem for you. There's so many different livestock guardian breeds that you don't really have to compromise. You can find the breed that works best for you. So you've got things like your Maramas, your Anatolian Shepherds, and on and on. You just need to know what those different dogs do, and there's tequila in the bush. But you just need to get familiar with the breed before you get the dog so that you don't make a mistake. So, for example, an Anatolian Shepherd are big and they're powerful and they're really good at their job. However, they have an aggressive tendency, which is excellent if you have a really high predator load. They are more likely to take the initiative and get those predators out of there. But if you have a lot of people come to your farm, so let's say your farm where customers come, or you have a roadside stand or whatever, any of those kind of things, then you may end up in a position where you're having problems with the dog versus the customers. So make sure you're getting the right breed for your situation, okay? We went Pyrenees because they're well-rounded. We knew that that would mean we would have problems with roaming and barking. So just know what you're getting into. That's really important. Anyway, that about wraps up my tips for how you should behave when training your livestock guardian, because all of those things are really important. Anyway, that is about it for us here today at Andersen Acres. Have fun with your livestock guardians. We'll see you tomorrow.